Hello, welcome to PyeongChang. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Ensemble Lee. I'm an advisor to PyeongChang Peace Forum, also chair of panel of the judges for YPC 2021 Youth Peace Challenge Program. As you know, PyeongChang Peace Forum 2021 is co-organized by Gangwon Province and Municipality of PyeongChang, and also KOICA, Korea International Cooperation Agency, hosted by 2018 PyeongChang Memorial Foundation in partnership with several ministries of the Korean government, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Unification, Ministry of Culture, and also Ministry of Gender Equality, and so on. As you see, this is a really national event. Many stakeholders have been taking part in this important peace forum. The YPC, Youth Peace Challenge, is the first program of PyeongChang Peace Forum, which started 3 years ago. Particularly this year, we want to give more opportunities to youth, not only South Korea, but not only in Asia, all over the world. So as you can see, the many youth participate from all over the world. Here today, it is a final interview. 14 out of 70 participants were selected. This is a final round of the interview. So let me introduce briefly the criteria and also voting procedure and also program of this final interview. We have a 5 panel of the judges for this interview. Let me introduce one by one. Song Jin-ho, he's a former vice president of KOICA. Please say hello. And then Kwon Gu-sun from Korea Academic Association for International Development Cooperation, KAIDEC. Then we have 2 more persons, Hani Lee from KCOC, Korea NGO Council for Overseas Development Cooperation, and Go-eun Lee from Korean Association for Public Diplomacy. So this is the 5-member panel of judges. We are all from partner organization of YPC. As you know, there are 25 partner organizations, 8 from Korea, 15 from international. So they are all observing this final interview, and also they will be invited to vote again to choose the best winners of this final interview. So let me introduce a little bit more about details of this final interview. As you know, this interview, the main purpose to select, the aim of this final interview is to select the 10 top best, the winners of PyeongChang YPC, who will get PyeongChang Peace Youth Prize, the last day of this PyeongChang Peace Forum, 2 days later, out of 14 nominations. The interview will be conducted by 5 members in hybrid. This morning we had the first part, now we are doing the second part in the afternoon. As you know, there are 5 categories of the Youth Peace Challenge. Essay, there are 2, A and B. A is about international issues, how to promote peace as a youth in the context of UN Decade of Action to deliver SDG by 2030, and also follow-up to 75th anniversary of UN in the face of coronavirus. A very big topic. So because we want to give the open question so that you can maximize your imagination in writing the essay. Then the public statement, public art, printed art, and audio-visual art. So we did this morning, essay B, public statement, printed art. So this afternoon is 2 categories, essay A and audio-visual art. So you can see we have 4 participants for essay A, 3 different countries, Tanzania, Pakistan, Indonesia, and audiovisual art, we have 2 teams from South Korea and Kenya. So criteria for assessment and voting procedures. So 3 groups will be participating in the voting to choose winners. First group is youth participants. As you know, 71 youth teams participate in this the Peace Challenge. So they are all invited to vote. But first round, any citizen, any youth were invited, but this time we limit participation to only those who made a presented the work in this YPC. And second group is 25 partner organizations, Third one is 5 members of panel of judges. So we will put all together the vote from these 3 groups to choose the top 10. The main criteria for assessment for voting, number 1 is a level of knowledge about the theme. Of course, we did once based on your presentation, essay, public statement, but we want to do verbally. And second is a verbal explanation and articulation about the work. 3, an attitude and sense of commitment and dedication to the issues you are presenting. The deadline for voting is 7 a.m. tomorrow, Korean time. And they will make an announcement just before the closing ceremonies. Number 3, the final selection of top 10 winners will be made based on the result of 2. One is the first round of voting, 50%, and then second round of voting, that is a final interview. And the voting result of each 3 groups will be counted equally, which means 1/3 from youth participants, 1/3 from partner organization, 1/3 from panel of judges. And top 6 winners will be selected among 5 top scorers of each category. So out of 10 the winners, 6 will get the prize with a scholarship. And so the top scorers of each category will be automatically one of the 6 winners, but one additional team will be selected by panel of judges, taking into account the quality of the work and then balance among 5 categories. And also, panel of judges, these 5 members will decide on the distribution of prize among top 6 winners. So we have 4 categories: PyeongChang Youth Peace Prize, and leadership, partnership, and action. And I will explain a little bit more detail later on. The announcement of the top 10 final winners will be made during closing ceremony. That means 10, the noon time, the Tuesday, 7th of February. So these are schedule and stage of YPC 2021. Just to remind ourselves what has happened so far. As you may remember, 11th of January was the deadline for the submission of the work. So we have about 71, the work by 71 teams. And then next day, 12th of February, the 5-member panel of judges met to review and they select 25 candidates for public voting. So out of 25, 14 were selected through this public voting, mainly from citizens and also 25 partner organizations. Then 10 out of 14 was selected for this final interview, from this final interview. And then, as I said, the winners are 10 winners, but 6 with a prize with a scholarship, 4 with a prize without a scholarship. And the order of the interview, as we did this morning, so it will be composed of the 3 stages. First, once you are introduced, you will have a 3 minutes maximum to make a presentation about your work. And then there will be a common question by one of the panel members. And the answers by finalists will be 2 minutes. And then there will be a second round of questions. There's an individual, each team. And then this, you will have a 3 minutes. So altogether, 3 minutes for presentation, 2 minutes answer to common questions, 3 minutes for individual questions, so that we can go deeper into your work. Okay, so this is the process of the order of the interview. The list of prizes and scholarships, as I mentioned, the first one is the PyeongChang Youth Peace Prize. It will be given by Ministry of Unification from the government of Republic of Korea. So you can see how the government, Korean government, especially Ministry of Unification, is very much interested in this youth challenge. I hope they will read and they see your work so that they can have some inspiration and also imagination to carry out their work more effectively in the future. And there was scholarship 2 million US dollar. Also, not US dollar. Korean won, Korean won. Okay. So 2 million Korean won in US dollar terms, about $1,000 1,800 something, or depending on, exchange rate, Okay. Second, the PyeongChang Youth SCG Leadership Prize by Governor of Gangwon Province and also President of KOICA. The amount of scholarship is 1.5 million Korean won, so about 1,300 US dollar. And PyeongChang Youth SCG Partnership Prize by Mayor of PyeongChang Municipality and also Chair of Gangwon Newspaper, the co-sponsor of this YPC, and 1 million Korean won, approximately 800 or 850 US dollar. And lastly, PyeongChang Youth SDG Action Prize, the 4, will be by the president of 2018 PyeongChang Memorial Foundation, but hopefully no scholarship. So these are the top 10, the winners. We will decide after interview through the voting by 3 groups. Okay, so now let's begin the first round of final interview. So according to our program schedule, so we will begin with the essay topic A. There are 4 participants from different countries. So can we see all of them on the screen? Are you ready to make a presentation? Hello. How are you?
Hello.
Are you okay? What time is in Tanzania now? Hello, Imani.
Hello.
Hello. What time is in Tanzania now?
It's 9 morning.
9 in the morning. Okay.
Yes.
And then what about Siti? Kwali, your colleague from Tanzania. We have 2 persons from Tanzania. And Ishitiyag Hussain.
Yes.
Yes, sir. The time is 11:30 a.m. now.
11:30 a.m. Okay, good. Chiquita,
Yes,
Edrini from Indonesia. What time is in Indonesia now?
It's 13:42. Basically, we're just 2
1
hours different.
2 hour
with
difference.
Seoul.
Yeah. Okay, very good. So City is not available. City. Okay, so we have only 3 participants for this final interview. So as I said, you have a 3-minute presentation online, and then so we'll give you 2 types of questions, common and individual. So Imani, are you ready to make a presentation?
Yes, I am.
Okay, please go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Okay. I am Iman Henrik, a journalist from Tanzania.
Okay. Okay, Imani. Okay, there's some technical problem. We cannot hear you. Can you check your internet connection? Just wait, yeah. Okay, then I'll give you a little more time to fix your problem. So let's go to Ishitiyag Hussain from Pakistan. Are you ready to make a presentation now?
Yes, sir. I'm ready. Can you see my video?
Okay, yeah. Now sound is okay, but it seems your face is still, that means your internet is not really working.
Just give me 1 second, sir.
Okay, take
So
time.
can you see me now?
No? Okay, let me see. I don't know. Zoom. Pakistan participants.
Hello.
지금 괜찮다. Okay. Now it's okay. Imani, okay, wait.
Yes.
Let's. Okay, just a minute. 두 분 다 지금 가요. Imani, are you ready to make a presentation? Are you okay? Your internet is okay now?
Yes, it's okay.
Then Mr. Hussain is okay. We give a floor to Imani first. Okay, now let's begin with the Imani first. Let's try. I hope this time no problem with the internet connection. Imani, let's start again. You have 3 minutes. Please go ahead. Imani. Internet. It seems internet connection problem again. Okay, then let's go back to Hussein again. Sorry. Okay. Ishitiyag Hussain, sorry. Now, okay, now you can start now. Your sound, we cannot hear you.
Can you mute me?
Yeah, now it's okay. Yeah, okay. Now you can start.
Okay, sir, my name is Ishitiyag Hussain. I am a social innovator from the tribal area of Pakistan named as Parachinar. I am fled from Parachinar. Now, currently, I am living in Islamabad. This was my short introduction, and I am the CEO and Executive Director of Social Entrepreneurial Consultant Limited, which aims to create and provide innovative solutions in the public domain to different governments, non-government, and private institutions. I represent in Pakistan in many national and international platforms. So now I will come to my essay, that why I write this essay and what's my aim and what we can do you for the next time. So as I mentioned, after 11, my area was complete dispute and controversy among communities and was under the military operations against Taliban in my area. So the school were completely closed. So in this situation, I arranged 3 classes for the lower grade student to continue their education. So after my higher secondary school, so I just developed a blood donation society because I was seeing that a lot of people was crying for blood, and I was just create an SMS service and register students and young people to donate their bloods. So as we know, 6 years back in 2015, United Nations Security Council anonymously adopted a resolution 2250 that aims to for peace, security, and youth. So you can play positive contribution to peace, process conflict resolution, and engaging youth to lead positive social change to their communities to reduce violence and transform conflicts. Being a young leader from the war zone, I share my experience to many national and international organizations such as UN, UNGCY, IOM, and different governments. I learned from few lessons from my whole journey for peace. That to bring peace and security to the globe, youth must be involved in participation, protection, prevention, partnership, and reintegration. So acknowledging the COVID-19, we youth can play a dynamic role to depend peace and in the context of UN SDGs goals. So what we can do, we can do culture exchange program, arts on different cities, such as I was in Kabul and I was seeing an art lot program that was painted in different cities and for peace messages. After that, you can engage policy making process in sustainable development in interfaith gathering, such as government Azerbaijan is running a very good program for interfaith exchange programs around the globe. So in the latest growing crisis, cooperation among states is very essential today as in 1945, because we are living in 21st century and it's essential for peace everyone and everywhere. This is the time for you to utilize energy to bring peace in the globe. So what I can individually do, as I am from the tribal area of Pakistan and I passed all these processes as I am from war zone. So I believe youth can play a positive social change for peace. We are engaging in interfaith dialogues, in sustainable development goals, and especially in policy making process. So my essay is all about to my whole journey that I faced problems in peace, and I shared my all experiences in my essay for the next time. So this was all about my essay, and I think 3 minutes is gone. So thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hussain. So let's go to the next one. Imani, let me try Imani whether it's okay. I hope it is okay with the internet connection. Imani, can you try? Okay, if not, let's go Chiquita Edrini from Indonesia. Chiquita, are you ready?
Oh, hello.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Is it my voice clear enough? Okay. Okay, I will start now. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Lee, and also all of the audience. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening for all over the peace builder all over the world. Before listening to my short explanation about my essay, I would kindly remind you that we have to save the same perspective. That I would like to explain you that we're going to talk that in this forum, women are equal, and also the young generation, young people have the same opportunity to get involved and speak up for their rights. This piece of instruction is basically a reflection on how a city and moreover the state can ensure the safe spaces for women. You want peace, and it means you're also talking about how to battling the violence. Because peace is not only talking about freedom from war, but also freedom from violence. But sadly, current situation and basically in Indonesia are giving more pressure to solve this problem. As I've been mentioned in my essay, in terms of pandemic COVID-19, there are increasing number of victims of women violence. And I found out that patriarchy is being the most one root cases that why is it happen. And however, we cannot tolerate the violence also. But sometimes our culture, our basic values, our legal system is legitimate these things that still happen. And nowadays, women, moreover young girls around the world is still being marginalized in a male-dominated position or culture. While in other hand, there are some research that basically found out that women actually playing an important role in terms of how to keep the peace and how to create the peace situation. In conclusion, as a girl's human rights defender, it is being a huge privilege for me that I would like to gather all both young girls and boys to speak up about the gender equality issues and basically how to linkage peace and safe space for our next generation it starts in your hand. In my opinion, this generation basically has the huge capacity, has a lucky enough tons of access to the information and to access the technology, and that is our privilege that must be probably optimized for us and to spread awareness, to educate people, even our parents, then encourage them to work together, then gather our government to look into these issues. As United Nations Security Council has been said that it needs participation, protection, prevention, and partnership, and also integration, how to create a safe space for every generation of us. And what can we do? Of course, I encourage all of us in this forum, basically, probably to start this action. I think this all from me to explain about my essay. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Chiquita. So now let's try once again, Imani from Tanzania. Please ask for your kind understanding because internet connection is not equal globally, you know. So we need to have a understanding about situation in Tanzania. She's trying very hard. So if not internet, is there any way for her to speak without internet so that she can also participate verbally without showing her face? Let's try.
My
Imani?
name is Iman Henrik, and my essay was yes.
Okay, now, yeah. Okay, good. Let's try. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm Iman Henrik from Tanzania, and my essay was about how to defend and promote peace as youth in the context of UN 75th and the UN Decade of Action to deliver the SDGs by 2030, taking into account of the COVID-19 pandemic. So this essay is basically giving an instruction how youth can play their role on preventing peace in the world as COVID-19 now has changed the whole system of life, and regarding the decade of action, as we have just remained with 10 years to deliver SDGs by 2030. So the very great implication which can be taken, and it's very possible regarding the presence of COVID-19, is media and digital innovation. So youth can use media and ICTs and arts for peace. They can design different audio, different arts, different graphics to promote about peace using online, because currently we cannot use demonstration, we cannot gather people together to preach about peace. So the best way will be using digital tools, social media, and other dialogue, discussing and educating the society about how to prevent peace and how we can reach SDGs by 2030. Because without peace, we cannot deliver education. Without peace, people cannot work. Without peace, people cannot fight against poverty. Also, youth can innovate, can reject or stop to be violence perpetrators and be agents of peace. We see in the world, for example, in Tanzania, we have organizations which preach and advocate about the importance of having peace in the world. The good example is Global Peace Foundation. So youth can use such organizations and be the ambassadors of peace and preach it. As we know, in such organizations, there are elders who are the decision makers, but the implementers of these decisions are the youth. So if we'll have youth who are attached with these organizations to preach and educate the society about the importance of having peace, it will be very helpful regarding the presence of COVID-19. This also activism and preaching of peace can be done online. Also, grabbing dialogue opportunities. As we see now, we are in the Zoom meeting, we are discussing about peace. So this can be also be widely done in the world. Youth can prepare or join UN opportunities which are being given to youth and other people to participate in dialogue, so that youth can get a room to deliver their views, to deliver their innovations on how to prevent peace in the world. So another thing is innovative in economic and productive solutions. With regarding the presence of COVID-19, even the economic system has been shaped. So youth can innovate and help the community with education by educating it on how to, on how peace is important in the world. So education is very important to the even to the younger generation. Youth should educate the younger generation on the importance of peace and how they can be prevented. And the last thing is youth who are in the youth who are in the youth who are in the security embassies, for example, police and armies, they should be an example of preaching about peace. Taking an example from Nigeria, there was SARS, where police and other people who were in the security instruments were used to attack people, rape them. So youth should take it as an opportunity of being in such police and military offices to be the peace advocates in the world. So I think this can be the good ways that youth can use to prevent and advocate about peace regarding the COVID-19 presence. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Imani. I think you made a good presentation on the very difficult circumstance. Thank you once again. So let's begin the two round of Q&A. The first common question by the Professor Kwon Gu-sun. Please.
Yes, thank you. Hi, good afternoon and good morning. Thank you for your excellent presentation. Let me ask a common question to three essay writers, and please answer one by one, starting from Imani, Ishitiyag, and Chikita. As you know, year 2020 was commemorated as a UN plus 75, and year 2045 will be the centennial anniversary of the United Nations. 25 years later. So I will be in the 75 or around 70s, while you will be 40s or 50s as leaders of your community. So I'm a setting sun and you are the rising sun in 25 years. Then let me ask, what will be the world be like 2045? Will that be better or worse than now? And what roles will you be playing for a better world? So let me ask the question to Imani first. Oh, she's the internet. Okay. Imani, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, please go ahead.
Actually, on my views, I think it's very hard to predict about future, but we can just assume how will it be. Regarding now, we have a COVID-19 pandemic, but regardless of its presence, other things should be go on. Life should be go on. That's why we use several measures to prevent it, like isolation and lockdowns. So I think if there will still be COVID-19, other things and the preach of about peace in the world should be going on, should be keeping on, advocating and educating the society about it. So I think we should be, as youth, we should be more innovative and creative on the ways to maintain peace and security in the world by that year, by using different things. As we see now, technology is growing each day. It's coming advanced more and more. So I think youth should be too much innovative and creative. For example, starting online campaign. In Tanzania during this time, we had a campaign called Productive Isolation, where youth were able to share in social media what are they doing, so that those who do not have the opportunity to see what they should do so that they can live good life, they can still have employment, they can still have education and other stuffs being going on. So the biggest thing is just being creative, innovative, and great thinkers on how we can promote and advocate about the importance of having peace, because as we know, SDGs has one of the principles is interconnected. So I think without peace, we cannot achieve other things, because the world will not having the enough security. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. And then thank you for your optimistic assumption. Okay, next, Ishitiyag, you're on the floor. Sound on, please. Volume on, please.
Thank you so much, sir, for your good question. I think cooperation among states is very essential as today, after in 15 years, because we are living in 2021, and after 75 or 50 years, the world will completely change in the term of technology, peace, and the war will be changed into hybrid war. As today is already changing the war from the arms to the hybrid wars. So I think cooperation is very essential. For cooperation among states, the first thing that we need to do is equality for all humans, everywhere and every place, because we know that in many nations there are many type of people. There are indigenous people. They are living in minorities people, such as in Pakistan. In my areas, there are living Hindu, Muslims, and as well as Christians. So for laws and rules and regulation is very different for Christian and Hindus communities, because the government is not giving a good high class jobs to them, because they are in minority and they are just using for garbage collection as poor jobs. So I think equality is the first option, cooperation among states is the second option, and the elimination of the nuclear weapons is very essential, because we know that as North Korea have already building nuclear weapons, and South Korea is not building a weapons. So That's why they are always threat for the region. So I think the elimination of the nuclear arms is very essential for all the nuclear armed countries, such as Pakistan have nuclear arms, India has, China has. They are always threat for each other and other countries because they have arms, and the little and the small countries operate from them. So this is the third thing. And the last thing is youth can change. As Benjamin says, every great work is all done by the youth. So the cooperation among youth is very essential. I think we must involve youth in sustainable development goals. It's the time. We have agenda of sustainable development goals, interfaith gathering, as well as in arts and in everything. We must involve in policy making, especially. So this was my short answer to you.
Thank you. Thank you for not mentioning DPRK. Right. Finally, Chiquita, you're on the floor.
Okay. Thank you so much for your question. Basically, you're asking about a really huge question, a huge how we can look into our huge community. First, what you're asking is what will could be 5 years later if we are being a leader. So as a young generation right now, I think it will be the great our great opportunity to bring the positive energy for our young next generation to lead our own country. Basically, I'm not talking about I'm not going to talk about a huge internationally position, but I would take my position as our national leaders generation. And as what is going by, I think what can we do is, as I've been saying in my essay too, it can start from a little things called awareness. Maybe some of us are sometimes forgetting this kind of things. How we can bring the awareness about how to make a peace and safe space for not only young generation but also for women, but also for the disability, all of stakeholders. We can as what SDGs actually taking interest that no one left behind. It must be our priority. And I think as in Indonesia have a different culture, and we are taking this into our big problems, how to create a peace space for all of us. And I think how we can do is, first, of course, the co-creation. As basically I am come from advocate, then this is my big opportunity and this is my big privilege, I think, because I can talk with our government as a young leader, and also we can make a discussion how to create and how to implement the SDGs. And I think that is the first important things, that when you are a young generation and you became a leader, this has become our example and good example. And I think that's enough from me.
Okay.
My idea.
Thank you. Thank you for your precise answer. Let's turn to moderator.
Okay, thank you very much. So now let's move to the second round, more in-depth individual questions by Song Jin-ho, the member of the panel.
Okay, it's time for individual question. My first question will go to Imani. Imani, can you hear me? Imani? Imani, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
This is individual
Yes,
question
yes.
to you. Yeah. Imani, you suggest 9 ways of youth peace actions. From them, can you prioritize or highlight 2 or 3 concrete actions that can be taken internationally by youth, especially youth participants in this Youth Peace Challenge, YPC? And second question, why do you think the SDG is important for youth? Can the SDGs address effectively the problems facing youth today? It's a question for you. and I will give the all questions, and then you may answer. My second question will go to the Hussain. Okay, Hussain. How do you think the COVID-19 has been affecting the peace building and the implementation of SDGs in your country, Pakistan, especially the countries in the conflict, war zone, and fragility? And second question, regarding UN Security Council Resolution 2250-2250, which titled as Youth, Peace, and Security, what do you think is, and what do you think should be, the key message for UN Security Council to urge it to the member states? And the last question to Chiquita. Chiquita, how do you think the COVID-19 has been affecting the violence against the women and gender inequality in your country? And second question, why do you think the SDG is important for young people and young women towards peace building and gender equality? Can the SDGs address effectively the problems facing young people and young women today? Okay, it's time for answer. The floor goes to Imani first. Yeah, Imani.
Hello.
Yeah.
Please, can you repeat the question? I didn't get you well.
Let's go ahead. Yeah.
Can you please repeat the question?
Okay. You suggest 9 ways of youth peace actions. From them, can you prioritize or highlight 2 or 3 concrete actions that can be taken internationally by youth, especially youth participants in this YPC, Youth Peace Challenge? And second, why do you think the SDG is important for youth? Can the SDGs address effectively the problems facing youth today? Imani?
Okay. I will start with, yes?
Yes.
I'll start with the second question about SDGs. I think UN itself in its agenda about SDGs, it's well addressing about problem facing youth and encounter them to be included in the decision making. The directions are very good, but the problem is the partner countries in implementing and addressing it to youth, and the youth participation in implementing them. For example, in Tanzania, we have trainings, but they are not as much as the number of youth who I think they need such education or such awareness about SDGs. So the problem is on how the participants, there should be more implementation and creativity on how youth can participate on it. For example, grabbing opportunities and go internationally, because this SDGs is universal. So youth can participate, can go to other countries to learn how their fellow address or implement SDGs in the world. So I think UN as UN in its agreement and declaration, it's well written and addressed, but the problem is how to implement. And I think the big problem is awareness to youth about SDGs. Education is more needed, and awareness on SDGs promotion and implementation. Because even in Tanzania, some youth are just doing things to promote SDGs and to implement SDGs, but they really don't know if they are promoting SDGs. I was in the Young Journalists Club just a few days ago. There we had a lot of youth journalists. When asked if they have done any SDG stories, they said no. But when we looked on their stories, we see that they reflect the SDGs goals. So the problem is awareness. They are preaching and implementing SDGs, but they really don't know if they are doing so. Another thing, I'm going to the first question about YPC challenges. I think the biggest challenge I have observed, first, it's a very good program because it's giving us exposure, networking, getting experience from other countries. But I think the coronavirus, these opportunities, because no youth are just online every time. They might be online, but they are not searching and grabbing for opportunities. So I think more publicity should be done so that many youth could hear and get this chance to participate in the challenge. The second thing, I think, it's language. You know, you are you're communicating by using Korean. When we enter in your website, it's hard to know that there
due to
is a
time
button to
constraint,
change language.
would you make short?
Time's up. Time's up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, time's off. Yeah, it's okay.
So I think language should be put very clear so that so that many youth can grab these opportunities.
Okay, thank you, Imani.
But the last one, I think you should advocate
time's up.
more. Okay, thank you.
Time's up. Time's up. Next, to next.
Yeah, so, okay, we have the time limit. So now the floor is moved to Hussain. Yes.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. I noted one of your questions that what our government is currently doing in Corona situation to achieve UN SDGs goals, especially in the tribal areas, in the war zone areas. So as you know that, sir, many people fled from their houses to the camps, and now they are living in IDP camps. Here, according to OSHA, United Nations OSHA, they said there are 4 camps in the tribal area of Pakistan. Especially what is going inside the camps. Inside the camps, the children is completely out of school. So what our government and UN agency is doing for them, they are providing services for them, especially in the war zone. Secondly, as we know that climate change is another problem, and Pakistan is the 7th most affected country in the world by climate change. So our government, the PTI Pakistan government, is currently working on to grow trees, new trees, and there are 1 billion trees will be grown in the next 10 years. And they have already 1 billion tree already have planted in the different area war zones, and especially in those areas that are mostly affected from the climate change. Thirdly, what are they are doing? They are doing the special security purposes to achieve the sustainable development goals, peace and other goals in the war zone and in the tribal area. They are fencing the border with Afghanistan, like in my area, Parachinar, in Korum, in Pata, tribal administrative tribal area. They are fencing with the border with Afghanistan. So our government is doing a lot of things under the supervision of United Nations Pakistan. So your second question was what youth can, sorry, if you repeat your second question, that I will be able to answer you, sir. Sir, can you repeat your second question?
So sorry, so we have the time limit.
Yes, sir.
If possible, can you skip it?
I will. Sir, I will answer just in 30 seconds. Sir, if you repeat your question, I will answer you in 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'm asking about the UN Security Council Resolution 2250, which titled Youth, Peace and Security. What do you think is and should be the key message of UN Security Council to the member state, to urge to the member state?
That's a great question, sir. Actually, they are providing 5 pillars of these resolutions to all the member states. Number 1 pillar is participation. Youth must be participate in different activities and in policy making process. Number 2 is protection. Youth must be involved in protection activities. 3rd is prevention. 4th is partnership. Youth must be involved in partnership activities such as this great initiative of SA.
Yes,
you are engaging around 30 organizations. And lastly, reintegration. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, we are very busy. So Chiquita, floor is yours. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. I will try to answer the first question from you, that asking about how is the condition about the COVID-19 and effect how the women violence in Indonesia. And basically, I've been mentioned in my essay that one of a social organization that called Jakarta Legal Aid Foundation and also Indonesian Women Association for Justice called LBH EPIC has recorded around 59 cases of domestic violence, rape, sexual assault, online pornography, and it happens during the COVID-19, and it makes the women become vulnerable at this situation because women must be stay at home while the pandemic COVID-19 situation. And what has we done? Basically, the society has basically give the legal assistance and also give them safe space, safe home for them, because basically they are trying to report this condition, but sometimes they can access this legal assistance. That's why we are working on that issues. And then the next question is about how important is SDGs and can SDGs affecting that women issues. Basically, I will answer that SDGs has an important role, as I've been mentioned also, that SDGs Goal 5 about gender equality and SDGs have 16 as basically related each other, linkage each other. But can this affect the future? I will probably say it depends of how we can encourage our government to implement all of the SDGs goals, 17 SDGs goals, and how as a civil society, we as a civil society start to action to implement the whole goals and reminding our society about these important issues, because maybe not all of us are understanding about the SDGs goal. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much for your active participation. Sorry about internet connection problem. So we missed one person, the city. I hope, anyway, we receive your the essay, but you are not able to make a presentation, so I'm so sorry about this internet connection problem. So this is a reality we are living on, you know. So we are all working and living different places, but the condition, social, economic condition, we are all different. So this is one of the challenges we need to overcome, you know. I don't need the corona, also after coronavirus. So let's hopefully, so more people can participate next program. So let's give a big hand to all the three participants. Okay. Thank you. Let's move to the next round. It's audiovisual art. We have two teams. Peace Warrior from South Korea. The title was A Mask for Future. And second team, the Amazon Theatrics Ensemble from Kenya, Never Edit Again. Can you come to the screen so that we can see you, two teams? Okay, and then we have our Korean teams. They are here in this room. So we have one offline, one online. It's very interesting. So let's invite two teams to make a presentation. Online, let's the Korean team first. Could you please come to the podium so you can make a presentation 3 minutes, and then the Kenya team, and then Q&A.
Can I start? All right, I will start. Good afternoon. Thank you for having us today with this glorious opportunity. We are Team Peace Warriors. We produced a visual art called Masks for Future to highlight Usps' actions for Sustainable Development Goals. This video figuratively shows the diverse global issue. diverse global issue by utilizing the mask as an object and encourages people to join common actions to resolve human beings' crisis.
Then, one mask, we already may notice, we consider the COVID-19 situation in our art. Due to the largest pandemic crisis in our history, now we're not able to live without masks. The COVID-19 situation is what everyone around the world is experiencing. Since anyone can be confronting to it, people can easily relate it to the issue. Thus, we selected the mask for our main object, the indispensable product and the symbol of this pandemic crisis. Although it is true that COVID-19 has made our life hard, our team believes that this common crisis can give an opportunity for us to recognize the universality of humanity and understand each other in common problem.
This video is consisted of two main parts, the performance part and the actions for SDG part. In the first half of the performance part, we use masks and different designs to deal with the issue of discrimination and inequality between different cultures, races, and religion and gender. We wanted to show how absurd it is to oppress people just because they have different identities, as blaming different designs of masks. In the latter part, we compare the situation of vulnerable people without proper protection to a person who is unable to wear masks. Like the indelible color scratch on her bare face in our video, absence of proper protection against poverty, contamination, violence, and other social dangers hinder the sustainable development. In the part of actions for SDGs, we used colorful masks as a metaphor for SDGs. Each mask symbolizes the different SDGs. The Sustainable Development Goals that are supposed to resolve the inequality and discrimination and to make our environment more sustainable and to protect people from poverty and violence, as the masks do in our video. What action do we make for SDGs? Actually, we haven't mentioned any specific actions in our video because we thought that our main role is to drive individual and social endeavor rather than showing a specific action. So we ask one question to people: what kind of masks you can give them? This question was set to make people to consider which SDGs you can achieve, as we had made this video as one of youth. And I hope that our video will be really helpful for youth to realize the importance of Sustainable Development Goals for making better world. Thank you for listening.
Okay, let's move to the next team. We have a 3-person from Kenya. Joanne, Golden, and Stacy, are you with us now online? Okay.
Yes.
Can you say hello? Only 2 of you,
Yeah,
right?
we are with you.
Okay. Well, Joanne and Golden?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you are in...
Hello.
Hello. What time is it now, Kenya? You are in Nairobi, right?
No, we are in Kisumu.
Kisumu, you are, okay, out of Nairobi.
We are in...
Okay, I hope your internet connection...
we are in Kisumu. The time right now... Yes, I think my internet connection is okay.
No, it's okay. What time is it now in Kenya?
In Kenya, it's 10:28.
In the morning.
AM.
Okay, very good. So now, are you ready?
Morning.
Are you ready to make a presentation? 3 minutes.
Yeah, we are ready.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay. So, our presentation, we just do a visual because in the society right now, youth, the youth, you can't convince them with books, performing arts, and people can reach the youth easily. So we chose a story which revolves around the youth and crime. So in his normal daily routines, then he came by a place where there was riot, and he died. In this case, we are looking at the innocent people who found themselves in crimes, but in places where they crime and they lose their life. Stop your video. Hello?
Okay, yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, so majorly chose on audiovisual art. We majorly chose on audiovisual art because in art we reach more people, we reach more youths, and we can also reach more youths because you find that many youths who get involved in crime, they can be tapped through talent because you find that maybe they have the talent but they don't have education, or they just can't get a job. So by talent we are able to tap more youths and teach them on issues with peace, and yeah, I think Stacy can clarify more.
We also use this audiovisual art because here in Kenya, mostly during elections, there are always so many violence in how their opponents has been defeated through the election. So we find that we see that mostly after post-election, there is always so much violence, and with that violence, so many youth, many innocent youth die during that violence. And so we decided to choose this in a way to show other youth that there are always peaceful ways of demonstrating. Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Joanne and Gordon. Let's go to the now question. As you know, we have two types of question, common and individual. Go-eun will ask a common question and then individual question by Hani. Please go on.
Yeah, thanks for your presentation. They are very impressive and well explained your artwork, I think. So now I will give you common questions to both of you. So you made audiovisual artwork for the YPC, which is not only a contest, but also a great learning opportunity for youth. So while preparing and going through this program, what could you learn from that? And have you experienced any change in your thought about peace? Yeah, this is my question. So you can answer one by one. And first, can you answer the Peace Warrior team? You first.
First of all, I really learned a lot through this program because especially all of the team's products was really impressive for me, and it was good opportunity for me to reconsider about other countries' situation, and especially while watching our opponent participant from Kenya. I was be able to know about the African situation, such as political conflict, and it's very unstable situation in their country, and so it was a really good chance for me to know about it. And meanwhile, while preparing our visual art, I was be able to realize that lots of things are just happening in around the world and still have not been resolved, and especially because of the COVID-19 situation, Asian phobia has been a serious issue about this, and I think this is one thing that we have to resolve the first, because peace peace has to be based on the understanding each other and respect. So, and this is my first answer about former one. And for the latter one, I think peace, as I already mentioned, I think peace is based on respect each other and respect each other and understanding our differences and culture is so important.
To be short, I thought the challenge. I thought that peace is imagination, the ability to imagine and empathize on each other's situation, like the participants in this Youth Peace Challenge did. So before this challenge, as a student who studies art, I didn't think about these peace problems so seriously like this. I was just interested in creating beautiful art. But through this challenge, I think I found a way to make this world beautiful, creating art. And so I'm really grateful this opportunity, this Youth Peace Challenge.
Me too. I don't know about this peace before this challenge, like Taye. And before this challenge, I just think about peace. Peace is just a good thing, or peace is just something we need, just like that. But while we preparing this challenge, I have a chance to learn about that everyone can't get good circumstance or a good place to live, and everyone can guarantee their human rights. So I can definitely the peace just on my own after producing our video. That is, the peace is guaranteeing safe life. So this I learned that this challenge is a chance to think about the peace and SDGs and future of our world this is my answer.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, next, Amazon Threadtrix Ensemble. Yeah, please answer now. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you. So I would like to say that, you see, Africa is a radicalized community. So people in the lifestyle in Africa is a lifestyle that it's very difficult to remove the ideology from people's mind. So we decided to do the audiovisual art, considering the easiest ways we can reach out through youths, because youths are the most affected. So through this audiovisual art and media, we get to target many youths. Because in this, when they watch whatever we presented or our piece of art, then they come to realize and actually compare with their lifestyles, what is really happening. And from that, there is change. Because by peace, I think in Africa, by the meaning of peace is just being together and doing things as usual. And not fighting, just running things as usual. So with our presentation, we are planning to tap the youth, especially the youth who are unemployed, the youth living in the slum area who are being used by politicians, especially during elections. And yeah, that is what I can say.
Okay, for me, peace as itself, like, I think it's like just people coming together without any conflicts and like sharing things together. And audiovisual art targeted youth, as my colleague has said, because in Kenya, for example, we have a lot of youth who are unemployed, and they are being used by politicians, especially during elections. And yeah, that is what I can say. personally, like most of the youth are the ones who participate in this violent extremism stuff. And so with this video, at least some of them will learn at least most of the youth will get to learn and see that not everything is all violence. And so by that, they can consider having peace amongst themselves and in the community and our society as well. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's go to the second round of question. Individual one, Hani, please.
Okay, likewise, Goon Lee. Both works were very impressive for me too. So I'm asking one question on the video named Mask for Future first. There is a scene of donation. So accepting donation, what kind of activities can young people do in order to tackle discrimination and violence and to achieve SDGs? Please suggest one or two activities you think. And for the next video, the Never Add It Again, it has a scene to commemorate your friend sacrificed. What does it mean? Because it just, as shown the video, you just expressed the sadness of the death, or is there any other messages you want to tell us? Please answer only one person from the team as your representative. So would you like to talk first, Team Peace Warrior first? Okay, I would like to suggest volunteering activity for youths to achieve sustainable development goals, because like for me, I did volunteering activity to raise awareness for disability for youth who are 10 to 13 during February and January this year. And at the beginning of the project, children's awareness about disability was pretty low, but we made a project about reading fairy tale about disability, which is called I Have a Sister Who Cannot Hear a Sound. And through this project, I realized that our children have raised their awareness about inequality, which is that there are a lot of people who are disabled, and we can relate it to them. So I would like to suggest that volunteering activity first.
And as one of the youth,
Sorry, please answer just one person from the team, because the time limitation. So I want to move on the next team, Amazon Theatrics Ensemble. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, please answer.
So in our video, when you watch the video, you find that in the video there is a narration, and as the narration is on, there is some still photos where you see violence, you see people burning things, and you see the cops chasing people. Then at the end, there is this scene. So this scene is a grave scene. So at the grave scene is where the youth, they were participating, and some of them were friends of the deceased. They are conducting a burial ceremony for their departed brother. And as they
Connection.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Okay, now it's okay, Gordon. Please go ahead.
Well, okay, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, okay.
So what I was saying is that in the burial ceremony, what I was saying is that in the burial ceremony, the youth realize that it's time they stand up. It's time they stop being used by politicians. Because in this case, now they've lost one of their brothers. The politicians are nowhere to be seen. The government is not doing anything. It becomes a family. Yeah, so the youth, me and the other guys, we realized that.
Hello, Gordon. Are you still with us? Okay, yeah, please go ahead. You can finish the last part.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It's okay. Are you done or?
So this is where you realize that the youth realize that. Hello.
It's
Can
okay.
you hear me?
Yes. Please.
She does it.
It's okay.
Okay, so this is where I realize that they realize that it's time for them to venture into other peaceful demonstrations, whereby you don't need to riot in the street, and find other peaceful demonstration resolutions like maybe hunger strike or such other things. So that is why we did our piece of art. So that is the message you are trying to communicate.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, this is the end of the final interview about audiovisual art. Let's give a big hands to two teams who made a lot of effort to come. Okay, thank you. So you may go back to your seat, please. Okay, so this is the end of 5 categories. As you know, we have 4 different types of kind of contests. First one is essay and public statement and printed art, audiovisual. That means there are many different ways of expressing our desire and aspiration for peace and also practice peace. The first one was writing your own ideas, and then speaking and drawing, and the last one was acting. So 4 different ways of practicing your idea about peace. I think we have done a fantastic job. As you know, we have 71 presentations, and 2,500 people voted globally. That means they watch your video, and also they watch your printed art, and also they read. So this is a PyeongChang spirit. So we want to share the PyeongChang spirit globally through this YPC. So in this sense, I think I really appreciate the participation, not only those who made the presentation, but also read and then the vote to participate in this process. As one of the participants said today, not only about sharing your own ideas, but learning about others, especially about Kenya, about South Korea, about Indonesia, Pakistan, and Tanzania. So this is the purpose of this PyeongChang, the YPC, to learn about more the different situations of peace and conflict. So once again, I want to thank all the participants from different parts of the world. And so this is the end of the final interview. But from now on, the voting will start. So we'll put this recording in our website. You can come and then vote to choose the best winners. And then announcements will be made the day after tomorrow, but voting until tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock. So 3 groups. Here we have 5 participants and 25 partner organizations, and also 70 youth participants who made a presentation in the initial stage. So this YPC continues. We have 2 more days. So once again, I want to also thank interpreters working very hard whole day, translating English, Korean, English, so that more people can understand and participate. And also all the technical staff who did the shooting and also recording and so on. Let's give a big hands to all those who made this possible. Okay, I really hope next year some of you can come to PyeongChang and enjoy spirit of PyeongChang, and also nice food and scenery in the really mountainous area, and also snow if you like. Okay, see you next year. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.